Well, you know that is my favorite. It has nothing to do with NFL, but it is my favorite. Um, that is my favorite. The NBA is my that theme song from old CBS is my favorite opening of all time. That's like the early '70s. It was so Shaft like. It was just so Shaft. It was so cool. I am coming this week to you from San Diego, California. Traveling has been kind of rough. Had a bunch of flights canceled this week. 7 a.m. Had some long travel days. Did a red eye into New York, and that was canceled, and a lot of cancellations. So you got to live with it. You got to move on. You got to move forward. What are you going to do, right? So we've had some. Let's see. We had some. It was a pretty funky week. This is the longest season in the history of the NFL. 17 games, and it's funny because people having 1,000-yard rush seasons or passing, and they're trying to make a big thing about it. But come on, they used to get 1,000 yards with 14 games, and they went up to 16 games. Now 17 games. So Babe Ruth had the record in 150 something games, and not 164, 3-2 games, whatever it was. So uh, yeah, this week we saw Arizona coming back from their slump and beating Dallas. We saw Buffalo needing a win, and they took it over Atlanta. Sort of slamming from the Giants. Going to show a highlight from there. Chicago just demolished the Giants. I'd like to see the Giants versus the Jaguars. What a horrible game that would be. I think the Jaguars would win that. I think the Giants were up to their fourth string quarterback this week. Cincinnati, I would say, in an upset over Kansas City. We'll talk about that one. 34-31 with some funky play calling at the end of the game there. Um, Roethlisberger winning his home field finale, unless they're in the playoffs in Pittsburgh after a very long career of almost doing nothing. I think really didn't do a lot. Did he? I think he had more reputation than anything else. And Houston killing me, taking a 7-0 lead, and I thought they were going to upset San Francisco, and they opened up the game 7-0 and then gave up 23 unanswered points and got demolished by the 49ers. Colts losing surprisingly to the Raiders. And, we're going to go through all this and the playoff picture. We're going to hit the playoff picture, and glad we have some people on today, and glad everybody came on. So we have a returning sports glutton, Mr. Tim Ferran down in Arizona.
Yep.
Hey, nice to see you back.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to see you back. You haven't been on in a while, and I'm glad you're on, and I'm glad to have you. So, we got some comments already. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, just saying a hello from Ms. Taylor, and yep, poor Giants. Poor Giants. We're going to go over some of that, and we have Julio coming on, and let me see. Before we get to Julio, I get a little hello there. Let's see. His Chargers beat Denver, and his he had a 2-0, and he had the Rams winning the fifth in a row. So let's see. Okay. Well, it's nice to see everybody, and it is a playoff week that we're going to talk about. And so, Julio, did you see any surprises this week?
Yeah, you mentioned the Raiders and the Colts. I believe we all had picked the Colts in that one. And I believe Manley was the only one who picked his Raiders.
That's right. I wonder if he's coming on. And Yeah, he went with the Raiders, and we were all kind of surprised at that. So that was a surprising one. And we're gonna bring on. We got some more gluttons on. We have Remy back, and we have Rick's picks back, and that's a good thing. And we're gonna get to Remy in a second. But Tim, so how have you been? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I had some computer issues, but got them straightened out.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, your Cardinals took a little bit of a dive for a while, and then they came back to beat Dallas, and they needed that because I think they're in trouble. What do you think? What's your being down in Arizona? What do you think? What's your prediction for them?
They're not losing D-Hop really hurt them, but overall, because people forget, but last year they finished 8-8 and they had an 8-game collapse last year. Same thing happened. They just collapsed in the midseason.
Right. Right.
The press here was like Kingsbury's gone if they do the same thing again, and it looks like they're going to tank. So this game was really good to show that they could. Number one, they beat a good team. They didn't beat the Giants or anybody.
No, it was a big win. It was an important win.
They played the way they had played earlier. If Kyler doesn't go for the home run all the time and they do short passes and he does runs, it's not a super exciting way to play because they kick a lot of field goals. But they can win with the talent they have. They still don't have a really great offensive line. Their line is good. And the same thing, they don't have a really killer pass rush either. They do.
I think it showed Dallas is, like I've been saying, I haven't been predicting. I predict some wins, but it just doesn't seem like there's a truly dominant team. Like even Kansas City losing this week was a big loss. That was a surprising loss. I was surprised that they lost that, and we have Casey with us, but we're gonna go back to Remy. Remy, how you feeling?
I'm good, thank you. And I told you I loaned Wolf to Arizona. I loaned Wolf to Arizona, you guys. You didn't listen to me. I told you they were going to beat Dallas.
I took Arizona over Dallas.
Oh, you took Dallas that night. We were talking about it.
Yeah, I think I changed it. I think I made some changes after I listened to things, and yeah, I made a couple of changes because, especially with people sitting out and all these things last minute, people all of a sudden not showing up for games, and with the illnesses, and so are you recovered fully, or how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm better. Yeah, I finally tested negative today, so I start to work tomorrow. Good. But I have to disagree with you being no dominant team. You guys, the Packers, dude, they are the best team, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now, up loud, up and proud. They have every weapons. They have and their guys are coming back. Bakhtiari might be coming back. If you get those 7 guys back, you are not stopping them. And it's all the way through Green Bay the whole season, the rest of the playoffs.
They're playing Detroit, and I consider this the slaughter game of the week.
Well, if Aaron might not play, they might not play any of their starters because it doesn't matter. This game means nothing because they've won the whole home field advantage. I know Aaron wants to play for the MVP. But we'll see what happens on Sunday.
I've heard LaFleur said he's going to play everybody's starters, but I think it'll be kind of like that first preseason game where they'll do a series. Probably most of them won't make it into the second quarter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They're not going to play Aaron Rodgers. They'd be crazy to play it past halftime. Because if they lose, Remy's prediction goes in the toilet. They need him. Now, let's face it. Vegas likes them 3-1 favorites to win the Super Bowl right now. Then Kansas City's, the next favorite. Then Tampa, Buffalo, Rams, Tennessee. Now, that's a team to keep your eye on. Derek Henry's
back.
I am so surprised that Tennessee is the top seed right now in the AFC. I am.
I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of impressive. Now they've learned to win without Derrick Henry, so they have a little confidence.
Right.
And, wow. And we know what that guy can do. especially in
And
a
right,
cold
if
day.
he comes back, I don't know what the prediction is, but if he comes back, that's some major stuff.
He
No,
can
he
play
is.
this
He is
weekend.
back.
Yeah, I
He
think
is
he's
back.
playing Sunday. I mean, if
Yeah,
he,
no,
if
he's
he
back.
scores, if he scores 200 yards, won't he be in second place all-time running backs of the year? Not having played since Thanksgiving. He's like number 5 right now, 7th place since Thanksgiving.
He's back. So he's gonna get his week 18 workout and be ready to rumble. And of course, he gets a bye potentially. So he gets more strong, more healthy. They said that his injury takes 8 to 10 weeks, and he's right at that, I think, 9 weeks right now. So, wow. I
The
like
guy's
the
been
way
out
that
since
team
week
looks.
8, right, Rick? The guy's been
Yeah,
out since week
he went
8.
out about week 8 or 7 or 8. Yeah, it was a while ago.
I believe he's still like 6th in rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 5th, yeah.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
an Eric Dickerson
So,
clone, you guys. He runs just
Yeah.
like Eric Dickerson.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
so the playoff picture is let's see what we got here. Yeah, there's your Packers, and they're going to walk away. They're going to get another win, and the Rams and the Bucks. Rams have just had an up and down season. I haven't been confident. I'm not confident in them, and right now they're predicted to play the Eagles in the first round, which is should be an easy win for them.
should be,
You know?
but you never know. I like the
Right.
Rams in that game. I think the Rams are starting to play better.
It's the defense, Rick, because the Stafford's been looking like crap the
Right.
last 2 games, man.
No,
Yeah.
right, exactly. I'm worried about him because he does have that Detroit choke blood in him, you know, and he might not have shaken it. My friends who were a lot of Ram fans, I kept saying to them, I don't know, Stafford, that no one was buying it because he was so hot the first 4 weeks, but he kind of showed a little Detroit Stafford. But,
do they get good Stafford or do they get bad Stafford?
Well, they have better coaches. They have better coaching, right? Yeah, Sean McVay is one of the best, I think, so that helps.
The Eagles might worry me a little bit because they run the ball so well, and the Rams this year have been subject to bully ball, like against the 49ers, for example. So they would concern me just because if they start running it down the Rams' throat. Now, maybe they've improved since those games when they were getting beat up on the run. So that's a tough matchup if the game goes a certain way, I think.
Yeah, Connor's old. They also ran
put those
over.
records
Connor
up
ran over
again?
us as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you put those records up again, Todd? So that's how it sits today. So the Saints basically, can they get in with a win and an Eagle loss, or
No, Eagles are in.
Eagles
are in. If the 49ers are.
they got those. Yeah,
That's
that's
the
right.
49ers game that.
Yeah, the Saints are in the hunt, it says, and it's
That's because the Eagles beat them, I think, right?
Oh, so they can get ahead of the Niners if the Niners lose potentially, I think that was what it means.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. So the Rams, what do they have to play for the second seed, obviously?
So that's a big game. San Francisco, LA is a big game.
Yeah,
yes, LA won't tank. They want a home game. They're not going to tank at all.
Plus, McVay has lost to the to the 49ers, I think, 5 times in a row, 6 times in a row.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
they've been our kryptonite, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think the Rams are going to come out fired up. The game's where's the game? You guys remember?
It's at LA.
Oh, they're going to win. If it was in San Francisco, I'd be a little less confident.
You know, the Rams
have trade land this weekend, and they need this win to get a playoff spot. So I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. But if the Buccaneers lose and the Cowboys lose, Rams stay in second because the Rams beat both these teams. So.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, the Buccaneers aren't the same Buccaneers. We got some problems over there in Tampa Bay.
I don't think we have problems now. I think they're better now. The problem's gone.
I just think I think the residual effect maybe throws off a little bit of the chemistry. Yeah. But they also lost Godwin. You can't get over that.
Yeah.
They lost Leonard Fournette. You can't get over that. Ronald Jones has a bad ankle. You can't get past that. They're playing, what's his name? Le'Veon Bell out of nowhere.
Yeah,
really?
I thought Fournette was coming back.
Yeah, you might be right. He could come back for the playoffs, but Fournette has weird, he's had soft tissue problems a lot. And, I don't know if you were going to get the same playoff Lenny, but we'll see because he was awfully good this year.
I even heard Terrell Owens throw his name in the hat there, you guys. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
I liked it. I want to see it.
God, how old is he? 50?
48.
40, yeah, no.
I want to see it. He's like, they only need me for 3 games. I could play 3 games.
I'm interested to see if the Buccaneers come out with any wild 3 tight end sets. Because, that's really what they have left at their skill positions are their 3 tight ends with
you're right.
Who is it? Gronk, Brait, and O.J. Howard.
No, it's up to that rookie now. What's that guy's name that he was throwing to last week? It's his trying to shine and get a job.
Who caught Antonio Brown's touchdown pass.
Hey, Casey, it's funny you bring up that 3 tight end set. They did run that for that go-ahead touchdown towards the end of the game.
Oh, really? I have to admit, I did not see even a recap of that game. So that makes sense. Bruce Arians he's an offensive coach, so he's probably trying to get in the lab and do a whole bunch of stuff with that kind of setup.
Yeah, and that's what they're talking about Byron Leftwich being. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think the Bucs showed a weakness in defense? The Jets just really,
Yeah, that day they did. That's for sure. But
let's you got for them. They got to hope that
they barely.
That's their slump one, and that's it for them because that was either they were just having a bad day or they got a problem because it was the Jets, and the Jets are one of the horrible teams, and for the Bucs came back with 2 scores to put them away, which Brady could do. But I don't think he wanted to be in that position to do that. And, we know he could do it, but I think that showed something. And they probably are going to work on it this week because they have to see what went wrong there against the Jets.
I'm rooting for the Bills to make it in the AFC. I want to see the Bills get back to the Super Bowl. I think Tim could agree on that, right?
Yeah, I still see, though, a weakness. They're very much like the Cardinals last year until they got James Conner. They don't have a real power back. Like Zach Moss for the Bills is about the only thing, and he's slow. So they run Singletary, but he's a little guy, and it just doesn't, he's good, but he's not great. And that's a weakness. And then their failure to stop the run. And I really wonder, Leslie Frazier had done a really good job the previous couple of years, but this year they've been real in and out and been real susceptible to team, the Patriots where Mac Jones threw, 3 passes in a snowstorm and they just ran up the gut on them. So they're vulnerable up the middle. So, and it's not for lack of talent. They have a lot of draft, Boogie Basher and the kid from Miami. They got a lot of good defensive linemen. So I really don't know what the problem is for stopping the run, but they're weak in that area. And it's
Buffalo. They killed me the first week. I took them in the death pool, so they knocked me out in the first game. But then they came back and had a strong year, and then they went up and down and lost a couple of bad games. And
they did.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see them where they are now. I thought they were going to be better than 10-6. And
I thought they were going to take the division. I really did.
Well, they're going to finish 11-6.
Yeah,
they have the Jets coming up, so they'll be 11-6.
The Jets played like they did last week.
Oh, I know the Jets will be ready for him, but
I think in Buffalo, Josh Allen on this game is going to go nuts.
What's that?
I think Josh Allen will go nuts on this game.
Oh,
at home. I think he's going to play to win, and he could. He as long as he involves the entire team.
He doesn't need to sometimes.
So did anyone see the Bengals game and the final minute of the game when it was tied 31-31? Did anyone see that? I thought the coaching decisions were so bad, and Kansas City showed a goal line defense. I'm gonna try to play this. I want to see if I could do this. I want to see if I could share this and get it. And let's see if we could do this one. He calls. It's 4th and goal with 31-31 with less than a minute left, and he goes for the touchdown instead of the field goal twice. I didn't understand that call at all. So
because you don't want to give Mahomes a football even with a minute left, because he's going to get you in field goal range and tie the game anyway. That's what it's about. You can't give Mahomes.
I would still want to go for the win. I want to go for the win. You know, if you lack the confidence in your defense that much,
they do.
You got big
They
problems.
do. I mean, you have to respect Mahomes.
They do lack them. Yeah, I mean,
he has to throw a 55-yard bomb.
And he's got 31 points on him already. They weren't going to stop him. He would have got a field goal.
Has 2 timeouts with like a minute. It was a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Well, so look at this defense by Cincinnati. On Kansas City, four plays in a row, and I lose this. There we go. I mean, it's unbelievable that they couldn't get in the end zone, and they ran the same play every time. They didn't even diversify. They just
whatever happened to the bootleg. I don't understand why more teams don't run the bootleg.
And then
he
stopped. Unbelievable! They stopped them there.
Right, I remember this now.
And then there was flag.
I thought Joe Mixon was in.
That probably his knee hit or something early, and
he was, but they caught a penalty, right?
They got bailed out. Yeah,
it was offsetting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was offsetting penalty.
It was offsetting, and then there was another penalty that gave him a first down. It was a face mask or something, and
meanwhile, that Bengal offense is as hot as any in the league, though. Nobody wants to play them, I guarantee you. They got some mean guys on the outside. That rookie is on fire.
But this was an impressive goal line stance by Kansas City. To hold them like that. And this was where the penalty was. And, I don't know. It's a little questionable. They did grab but was it
and
catchable?
They finally kicked the field goal. That's right.
And I believe Burrow got a knee contusion on that play.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He did. He got hurt.
So look what all that, and he got hurt.
Is he hurt bad?
He's questionable for this week, but that's because it's this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was bad coaching. I thought 45 seconds. I would put it in the kicker's hand. I'd go with the lead. That's just and they overplayed it, and their quarterback gets hurt.
And inevitably, they had to kick the field goal anyways.
Yeah. But they got it down to 2 seconds where they didn't get the ball back. So
that worked out.
Remy brings up a great point, though. You don't want to give the ball back to Mahomes with too much time on the clock, because then, there's 3 quarterbacks, that could beat you with that much time. And, the Hall of Famer, John Elway, Tom Brady, Mahomes.
But if you don't score, you're going to go into the.
In a minute, what? Aaron Rodgers is he can get you in field goal range in a minute.
He's 4th on my list.
Okay, but he can do it.
I put him over Brady. in a minute.
I would take Rodgers before Brady and currently.
In the 1 minute in the under the Yep.
Hey, but remind me, guys.
With a broken
wasn't there like a 3rd and 27? Wasn't there like a 3rd and 27 that the Bengals had, or 3rd and 25? I can't remember what it was. And they played Jamar Chase. They played soft defense on him, one-on-one defense.
Yep.
They allowed him to get the first down. What fudge was the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs thinking? Why not double him with a free safety? I'm confused on that.
Yeah. No, that was insane. I saw that too, and it was like, why? Everybody knows he's going to try to hit him. It's like, the Bills with Stephon Diggs. It's like, why aren't you doubling up on that guy? It's, pull the safety over, and on 27, he could, he'll check down to a short pass, but the guy's not going to break, odds are he's not going to break tackles for 27 yards on a running back. So, this has been like the weirdest year for those types of coaching decisions. And I had to laugh. My buddy Cliff Kingsbury there, he was big on going for it on fourth on all their losses. In this last one, he kicked field goals the whole game. And I think he's finally learned that, take the cautious road when you're not, especially when your team is in the game, but they're not dominating. Kick the field goal. The percentages go with you a lot better when you're, when your offense, when your O-line especially isn't dominating the other O-line. Kick the field goal. Don't.
Can we talk about the biggest game of the week, though?
Wait. We will. But Rick made a good point with Cincinnati, how they're strong, and then Casey had a point with in her tasty takes, and we're going to show that real fast.
Heading into the 2021 NFL Draft, the prevailing wisdom was that the Bengals should take Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell, but instead they took wide receiver Jamar Chase, who had also been a teammate at LSU of quarterback Joe Burrows. And when I watched him against the Chiefs this week, I was amazed about his after-the-catch moves and speed. I thought he was just a stretch-the-field kind of receiver. But when he caught some passes among the middle, he basically was running roughshod around the defensive backs. I would really think twice if I was an NFL team of always drafting for need when you can really find a good fit for your team.
That's a great take, Casey.
Yeah, good point. It's a good point.
And real quick, something I heard this week, which was interesting, just a little digression, that the Cowboys, for example, really didn't need a linebacker when they took Micah Parsons, but they took him because he was best available, and they figured they'd figure it out afterwards and shuffle around. And they did, and of course, Micah Parsons now is, in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. So sometimes I think teams, have to think outside the box of what they need and maybe what they can get.
Yeah.
All righty, so Rick, your big game of the week.
It's got to be Chargers, Vegas. Playoffs on the line. Loser goes home.
So
loser
talking about chaos.
But if the Colts lose and Pittsburgh wins, they have to tie and they both get in.
That's not happening. That's not happening. Take that off the board.
All week. Hey, you never
know what? They should they should make a side deal and just knee it the whole game.
That's what they were talking about. I was listening to a bunch of sports radio this week, and they're like, if that scenario happens, are they going to take knees the whole game? But what if it gets to the point at the end for overtime? Do you just go to overtime tied and just sit on it for 10 more minutes?
No, probably the Raiders would at that point run it in on them and be like, sorry, we couldn't help ourselves.
So didn't the Raiders add to their chaos this week, their drama? They did I read it correctly or did I read an old thing?
No, you got it right. I think it's one of their top corners who's been really good got a DUI.
Yeah,
he was asleep behind the wheel somewhere.
I didn't hear that. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
He was asleep behind the wheel, and I think it was a parking lot driveway, like an off-ramp or, one of the ramps in the parking lot, if I recall. He was asleep, and they, of course, came upon him just stopped and asleep in the middle of the parking lot driveway.
It's a tough town to be a young football player in.
Well, that's just an idiot. I'm sorry. That's just not a smart person because you just had a guy kill somebody on your team for drunk driving, and you're going to sit there and go out drunk driving?
Right, man. Not on that.
You know what? I'd cut him. That's just
that's bad.
Yeah, cut him. That's just even you just watched a player lose his whole life and kill someone, and you're doing it, a month later. You don't deserve to play the game. You don't deserve that money. Get out. I'm sorry. You're done. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And real quick, getting into players putting their teams in danger, less volatile situation. Last night at the Dirk Nowitzki retirement game, Amari Cooper was at the game without a mask. And I'm just like thinking, I think maybe one other player. I know Amari Cooper was there, and it might have been another Cowboy. And I'm just thinking, what the hell? If you go into, if you get COVID or go into protocol now right before the playoffs, I mean, it was just mind-boggling to see that.
Yeah.
These guys should be in bubbles right now, seriously.
If they care about their team and their job, they should be.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, I'm sure, and it's just a matter of, I'm sure like the top guys that are the ones that are really serious aren't going even out of their house. They're probably ordering takeout, cooking at home, and wearing masks inside.
If you avoid people,
you're talking to somebody who just got over COVID who wore her mask everywhere, and I got it anyhow. And it's not.
Yeah, no, it's hard not to get it. It's
and you're going around not even, and you're letting your team down. I don't know. That's. Well.
So Rick, what's your pick on the Chargers?
I'm wondering. We have 6 people on screen. I wonder how many have got COVID. I have. Everybody's got it.
I had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Not yet.
Not me.
Knock on wood.
Stay in the house. Don't leave your house.
Take the right things, and you'll be all right.
50-50. So
take the right thing. Take the right cocktails.
That's a tough game for me to predict. It's truthfully, Todd, I can't predict it because I'm straight going heart. I'm not thinking out of without my heart here. I can't really. So I'm going to tell you what my heart says. My heart says Chargers are going to win.
Chargers are a better team than the Raiders.
And they're going to. I think what people are expecting is the Chargers to pass, but watch them run it down their throat because the Raiders are really bad at stopping the run. And the Chargers banged them for about 150 yards the last time they played, and that was the difference. So I kind of like the way the Chargers can handle it. If that kid's defensive back is out, that'll help. Although the Chargers get Darren Waller back, that's a huge player. Guys,
I mean, the Raiders beat the Colts this week. I don't know. That was kind of a fluke because they haven't scored more than 20 points in 4 games before that.
So the Chargers are averaging 34 points a game in the last 5 games. So,
I can't. I don't see that real. And they're playing in they're playing in Vegas, but I just think the Chargers are that much of a better team than the Raiders.
When they played last time, did they have Jacobs and Renfro? Were they playing then? I don't know.
Renfro was.
I believe Jacobs was in there too. Yeah, Jacobs played. Renfro wasn't as good as he was. Renfro wasn't as hot yet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because Derek Carr was relying on Waller then. But the Raiders, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really tough game for both teams.
It's hard to sweep your division opponent too, because the Chargers took the first one, I believe, at SoFi, correct? And it's which
was a road game.
That's when they went down the tube. That's when the Raiders started going on a slide because they were up there in the first place. Actually, if they would have won that game, they would have been in first place, I believe, in the division. And then after that, they went on that slide.
Yeah, the Chargers actually went in first because the Chiefs weren't hot yet.
On paper, the Chargers should dominate this game. The Raiders play zone defense. Their DBs are smaller than their corners are smaller than your 2 beasts of receivers that you have.
Mike Williams, he's like a lineman.
Yeah, and playing zone, I mean, I think they're gonna get eat up. But going back to Hunter Renfro, I mean, he is to me, and forgive me for saying this, but he's a poor man version of Cooper Kupp. Him and Derek Carr have just connected lately, and they've been hot. So you just gotta worry about that matchup. But on paper, I really think the Chargers should win this game. But
the Raiders they're an enigma. It's just like you really don't know what you're gonna get. I would not bet this game. I would stay away from this game when it came to putting money on it because there's just who knows what Raider team is gonna show up.
Or who knows what Charger team is gonna show up. This was a team that lost to Houston and shouldn't even be in this position. They beat Houston. This game means nothing to them. But now they got to fight
for
their
field
lives.
goals. They kick a couple field goals the week before that
Against the Chiefs.
And then they're not even in this game. It means nothing. It's not.
They're playing for first place if that happens.
Yeah, but I mean, if it doesn't go fourth downs and you don't get any points and you lose by a field goal.
But that's not how we do things.
Yeah,
well, it could be the reason you don't go to the playoffs this year if you end up losing this weekend.
Yeah, the coach was very adamant. I saw him on Good Morning Football, and the Chargers coach, and he loves going for it on fourth down.
And I don't mind it. I like it. I'm backing it.
That's the character of his team, and he's defended it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Crazy. I think, like Remy says, I think you lost the game by doing that. But
it's 2 times maybe, but 4 straight times, and then the next week you don't do it at all and go for and just kick field goals. So it's like. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I guess it's Kansas City, but I mean, it's Kansas City, but that's when you got to take all the points you can.
We have great trash talking storyline on the Raiders game between Joey Bosa and Derek Carr too. After the first game, Bosa said that Carr, I'm paraphrasing, kind of looked scared back there as the rush was coming. So then they asked Carr about it yesterday, and he took the high road. Oh, no, Bosa's a great player, and, he's going to do his best, and we have a good rivalry. And then Bosa took the high road basically, too. But there's some bad blood from that first game between those two.
Good. Bosa needs to be fired up. To me, he's good, but he's a bit overrated.
His brother.
I'll give you your X factor, though, Rick. Your X factor is going to be Austin Eckler.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he is a beast.
He's the best player on the team. He's always good. He can run, he can catch, and he's just a good football player. And this Charger coach uses him properly, not like the coach from last year who was running Kalen Ballage as much as he was playing Austin Eckler. He lets Austin Eckler dominate the snaps, and that's what I want to see. The guy is dangerous. And he's a weapon in the passing game, and we got a quarterback that can get it to him. So don't take him out. He's too good. He's too good, and the Raiders can't stop the run. So I think we have a shot. But Derek Carr takes a lot of crap. But damn, that dude, sometimes I don't know, he's pulling rabbits out of his hat.
I think he's underrated. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks. I've always had a big soft spot for him. I think he's great. He's just had no one helping him and no one there to support him and give him what he needs, and
I agree.
Terrible coaching. And we know with John Gruden in his back corner, that was 3 years of garbage for him. Mm-hmm. And
that team was such a mess this year that it's so hard to tell.
Weapons. If he gets a couple weapons, they're incredible. I mean, his first year, he took him to the playoffs, and then he broke his leg, and then they had to put in their the rookie guy who never played a game and hasn't played since in the first playoff game when they had what was that guy's name? That other coach that I liked too.
I think two most underrated quarterbacks are Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill, and they both had taken a lot of garbage this year.
Tannehill's excellent.
Yeah, and they both and Derek Carr, he lost his speed receiver when Ruggs got, ended up on the, he'll end up on the prison team, and it's.
Now wait a second, Tim. Now I want to interrupt you something. Do I see like a flying V guitar behind you or something? Like, are you this like a mystery musician that we need to know about?
Bad musician more than. Yeah, I got a small practice flying V guitar behind me. Yeah,
you got a Muddy Waters poster. You got wow. So you could play.
Was that John Lennon? You got John Lennon over there above Muddy Waters.
This is my music room, so I got all kinds.
Speaking of John Lennon, did you see that Beatles documentary yet?
Yeah.
And how do you? If everyone says it's fabulous, do you agree?
Yeah, there's a great scene where George Harrison, especially, was surprising. That I always thought with the Krishna stuff that he was kind of a space cadet kind of guy, and actually he turned out to be I won't, if you haven't seen it, I won't be a buzzkill, but it's the one manager wanted him to go to like in the Middle East, in the middle of the desert, in this crazy kind of thing. And Harrison's a guy who goes, "That's a really stupid fucking idea. When the hell are we going to get a boat?" And he was really pragmatic, and I was really surprised, because you figured he was like the Krishna guy. Right. And then the other thing was there was a really funny scene where Ringo had written Octopus's Garden, but he didn't have the bridge, the chorus. And Harrison was explaining, he goes, "It's a great song, but you need a bridge." And he's like, "What's a bridge?" And he said, like the chorus. And he basically wrote the bridge for Octopus's Garden for Ringo, which is pretty cool. So, cool. Yeah, I would strongly recommend it. It's if you're a Beatles fan. And what was really nice, at least my final thoughts on that, is even at the end, it was all, so much contention and fighting between them. But when they're up on the roof, you see them look at each other and they are truly happy. They all look at each other like, this is what we were meant to do. There's a great shot of them playing, I think, Don't Bring Me Down. And they all look at each other and they're happy. They all look like we are, and it's so sad that
because they have such a, they grew up together and there was a bond, and then, they evolved together. That's one of the things about them is when they went through the changes, they all did it together. They all had their look. They changed their look together. They psychedelic look and everything. They just.
Well, the other thing, and I remember they interviewed Ringo, and he said, "You gotta understand how bizarre my life is." They just wanted to get a steady income for the band. That was it. And all this other, it would be like you become the most famous actor or whatever musician in the world, and the whole world is falling at your feet. It just, and it's not like you were, born into wealth. You were just a blue collar guy out of a industrial town.
Well, and they were talented artists, but it reminded me when I saw that. It reminded me of, I don't know if anyone knows this, in The Office. Remember The Office with right? And Creed. Do you remember the guy named Creed?
I do, yeah.
He was the lead guitarist for the Grassroots. It was like, I remember hearing that, and I thought it was like Deep Purple, but it was the Grassroots. And he was a talented guy, but he was an actor, and I don't know, maybe someone was a fan of his, and they, one of the executives, and they put him in the show. So that just reminded me when I saw the guitar behind you, I just threw a little aside in there, So I would talk about real quick I don't know if anyone saw the Giants game at all.
Why? Why would anybody watch that?
Are they up to their fourth string quarterback now? I think they're going to have their fourth string quarterback. He had who was the quarterback? What was his name?
Glennon.
Yeah, 29 passing yards. That's unbelievable. So I want to show the opening drive. I just turned it on because I'm a Giants fan, and the opening drive showed me how bad this quarterback. He didn't even look at the line. He gets up to the line, calls the play, and gets hammered by the outside lineman. And I'm going to show it. It was, but just what he gets up to, he doesn't even check it. He doesn't go look and point. That guy's wide open and he's going to kill me. So here, watch it. I'm going to put it on. Just check this out. Boom! That's the first play of the game.
Sets the tone.
So that was the first play of the game. Let's see.
And it's so funny because so much of being a good quarterback is making sure pass protection is good, and especially when it's you that are going to get killed. I mean, it's just mind blowing.
And now he's having surgery. He got hurt big time.
Here, so the guy is wide open. The three receivers over here, these guys are here. He's watching this guy. He's watching this guy. Nobody's watching this guy. He's not even looking, and he just gets creamed. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
First play of the game.
Ooh, almost
You
scored.
know,
Yeah,
it's
we helped
like
save Nagy's job. Yay us!
right. I thought that was something special. So,
we're terrible. I don't even know what we're gonna do if we don't get a quarterback. I don't know what. You know what? We should just close up for a couple years and.
oh, you know what? Here, let's here look at this. So
come back.
So, do you think Baker Mayfield's going to stick with Cleveland or leave?
Is Cleveland going to stick with Baker? You mean?
Yeah, that's.
He's got no trade value because he's going to go into off-season surgery, so they're stuck. No one's going to trade for him. So
why? What's the matter with him?
He sucks. Left shoulder labrum.
Yeah. Sucks. Shoulder surgery. He just had it.
Boy.
How about he sucks?
And no one's. But you know what? No one wants to play in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland.
I mean,
no.
The teams you put up there need a quarterback, but I don't know, man. They might.
Sean Watson's not going to Cleveland.
I mean, I'm talking about Baker. Maybe Denver will. Maybe Denver would try to resurrect him because they got a lot of those teams have nobody.
They got nobody.
I don't think he's done. I mean, he stays and plays his fifth year option there, and maybe they say, "Hey, let's not play.
No.
We're only going to give you."
I think Cleveland should move on.
With what? And go back to their up and down being shitty for the next 20 years again?
I guess they don't have any.
I don't see Baker I see Baker playing still. I don't see him being done. I don't know if he's going to have a longevity, but I don't see him being done. Someone will pick him up. I mean, Cleveland. Garoppolo might say yes to Cleveland, but I don't know.
They need to bring in some strong competition. They need to bring in somebody to push him, and if need be, replace him. Right? I don't know who that is, but going into the season with him, they're not going to be able to trade him. And they've all, like you said, they picked up his options. So they take the hit that way. They need someone who's going to push him, and if he falters, be able to go in there. It might not be the best option, but what else are you going to do? Say, okay, hopefully next year with Baker we do well?
Casey, let's look at this with Baker. Odell goes to the Rams, and he's not cleaning up, but he's scoring touchdowns because he can get open. He couldn't. Baker.
I think Beckham has added to them in a major way. He's made some great catches.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's improved their offense.
Player. He's opening it up for Cooper Kupp.
What's that?
He's opening it up. He's giving Cooper Kupp more wide looks. They're not double teaming him as much because now you have to worry about Odell Beckham.
Well, he's getting touchdowns because they're double teaming.
No,
but I don't remember exactly when
Cooper
he came, but
Cooper Kupp
they won.
Nobody could guard Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp was open before Odell came. He'll be open when Odell leaves. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Odell's scoring because Cooper Kupp's being doubled. So
I think Odell's scoring because he has a quarterback that's looking at all the players on the field and he's hitting and he's reading the right. I'm telling you, when I was watching Cleveland, because I play fantasy football and I'm watching Cleveland, I have Odell Beckham, and I was losing my mind because he was open and he wasn't throwing him. Maybe he hated him. I don't know, but he was not. I don't know why a quarterback would.
That was the big thing in Cleveland. He wouldn't throw him the ball.
Do you think he? I don't get it. Like,
it could have been personal. It could have been personal.
No,
aren't you playing for the team? Aren't you supposed to win the game for the team? Isn't that a little selfish if you don't?
But this is my thing too. No one's talking about the coaching at all. If you're a quarterback, you want to evaluate him. He's got a broken shoulder, but you've got Nick Chubb on your field, and you're not putting him in for quarters at a time. Who doesn't want to win? You can't keep laying it all on Baker with a broken shoulder just to evaluate him to see if you want to keep him. Because Nick Chubb would disappear. You put him in, and he's rolling up the fourth quarter, and then you don't see him again for a quarter. Like, where was he? He's not hurt. Why is he on the sideline? The running back that he is, and you're leaving everything in Baker's hands. And if you don't think he's that good, then why are you leaving everything in Baker's hands and putting it all on this guy's shoulder with a broken shoulder? Like, the running game disappeared, and like they said, against the Packers, you're barely losing. Why are you having to pass, and not use it? Because Nick Chubb, they ran it down their throats the very first possession, and then Nick Chubb went to sleep, disappeared. You didn't see him again. and I don't understand. It's like
I have a little coaching. Casey can put a little coaching thing together. I don't really remember what it is, but it's a different team.
It's not about the Browns, that's for sure.
No, but I want to put it in anyway.
Watching Titans running back Giante Foreman run effectively against the much improved Dolphins defense was an eye-opener. Most people had left the Titans for dead after Derrick Henry went down with an injury. But since then, they've really played well, running the ball against many teams, and now have the inside track to the number 1 seed in the AFC going into the last weekend. It's a great testament to the coaching of Mike Vrabel. If I had a vote for Coach of the Year, he would get much consideration in that regard.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I just wanted to break because we were talking about coaching, so different coaching decisions and.
Now, here's an interesting one that came up today. I think I heard this on First Take, so it's not an original thought. But could you vote?
So it's
for
your
both?
second take.
My second take. Could you vote for both Aaron Rodgers for MVP and Matt LaFleur as Coach of the Year? Or are they kind of mutually exclusive in the sense of, do you feel like he's the MVP and that's why Matt LaFleur is doing so well? Or is Rodgers doing so well because of Matt LaFleur? Which I don't agree with, but it's kind of interesting. How could you vote for both?
Well, I think Matt LaFleur, he's 13-3 in his first 3 years as a coach, and he's very young. And I think he's a really good coach. He made except for he made that bad call last year against Tampa, going for the field goal and not for it. That won't happen this year if that comes down. But it is hard because everybody's like, well, he has Aaron Rodgers, but I'm
going to give you your answer right now. When Rodgers sat out that one game, did they win or lose? I forgot.
They lost.
That's your answer right there.
Yeah. They were woefully unprepared. I don't know if you could be prepared with Jordan Love, but boy, it didn't seem like they were prepared at all to have the backup play.
But they didn't lose by much. They lost by what? Field goal, put the touchdown. They didn't get beat up.
That was an ugly game.
It was ugly, but they didn't lose by a lot. It wasn't like they came out and destroyed them, right? Mm-hmm. Green Bay.
I think that was a stat padding game towards the end of the game. Yeah. I'm not so sure. They were Kansas City was in control the entire time. But it goes to Matt LaFleur. I like Matt LaFleur, so I'm not dissing on him. He's a good coach, but it's just one of those funny things when you talk about that. Who's reason for the winning, coach or quarterback? And this year we have two that are going to be up for both awards, and it's like, how do you vote?
Right.
I think with what Grabel's done though too, I think he's a pretty good shoe-in because he hit their number 1 running back, and they still ended up staying there. Lost some games they probably shouldn't have, but they end up winning and being the first. They're going to be the. Right.
I think you put Belichick in the mix as well because no one expected the Patriots to do anything this year.
Yeah.
That's too. He's won enough though, so they'll probably overlook him.
Yeah, they need to overlook him.
They'll be because they're like, he's won enough. We got the new.
You know what? If they lose to Miami this week, because Miami could upset them.
Miami does. They always upset him the last game of the season, even when they had Brady. They're playing in Miami, right?
They are
playing. I think they're playing in
Miami. You can't win in Miami. You don't know.
In Miami.
But they're still in the hunt for their division, so they need this game really bad.
Miami's not that good, though. They're not that good.
No.
They got exposed last week.
Oh, yeah. Because they had a major winning streak, but against the worst teams in the league. The Giants, the Jets, Houston, the Jets twice, New Orleans.
Oh, and then they play New Orleans with their third-string quarterback. Yeah. Or fourth string, I can't remember.
Right.
Ian Book, he never started, and it was a disaster.
Right.
It was a disaster.
So, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give one more. We're gonna do an observational thing. We have one more Casey put together, which I thought was pretty interesting. But I lost my piece here. I wanted to go over some because we have the playoff picture that. With potential games, but we still have this week to go. So this is more of this is something pretty interesting. And here we go.
In the Georgia versus Michigan game, commentator Kirk Herbstreit said, quote, Georgia freshman tight end Brock Bowers has an NFL-ready body and skill set. But what I heard was the NCAA will make millions of dollars off of Bowers over the next 2 years, while he risks a career-ending injury and also a payday in the NFL. And the NFL doesn't get off the hook here. They get basically a minor league system for free. They don't have to scout and draft players right out of high school and have that headache. When people complain about NIL and such, I say, get over it. This is a business.
You know, the thing about that is, because we were talking about before with no quarterbacks, and there's really no system like the minor league for baseball to people pull from. And I know we're getting away from the what we're talking about, but I just wanted to touch this a little bit. You know, right, these teams have nowhere to reach into. They have nowhere to go when they have problems. And the NFL wouldn't support the AAF that was a couple years ago that went defunct. And I think it's a shame that these players, they come out and if there's no development, and it's too bad, because teams need quarterbacks, and their second stringers can't do anything. So, you know, any thoughts on that?
That's a great take, Casey and Todd. Great point of view there as well, because that's what, you know, the NBA, they have the G League, and baseball has the minor leagues, and you need to develop all these NFL quarterbacks. I mean, you're right. They're getting all these kids for free from college, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot of these kids, they can't, you know, benefit, you know, they can't make any money in college. I mean, I know that the rules were changed with the new ruling recently, but they're still not making NFL money. Shame on the NFL. They should, you know, they don't want any competition whatsoever, whether they're, you know, it's a development league. They just, as soon as someone creates a league, they're trying to, you know, get rid of them, trying to get rid of the competition.
Right.
So, yeah.
You know, I was at a college game, and I was in their team shop, and they had bobbleheads of some of the college players. Do they get revenue from that?
They do now, I think. I think it might be part of their thing now. They do. They're getting paid. One guy made $1 million this year. I forget.
One of the college players?
Yeah. That was the Ed O'Bannon decision, basically, the Supreme Court.
Isn't the problem, though, with the other football leagues that none of us watch it or care? So they can't make any money from it. So they always fold because they can't, So instead of trying to make a big deal about it and put it on TV and get a deal with NBC or ESPN, I mean, minor league baseball out here in Bakersfield and Rancho Cucamonga, I mean, it works. People go, it seats 3,000. Maybe if they just had the league and it's, you know, and 1,000 people showed up and it didn't have to be on television.
Right.
Maybe it works better. I think they're always trying to make it like the XFL and make it
That's a good point. That's a good point, because they're always trying to make it like an extravaganza. Like,
correct.
Here we are. It's a new league, and we got to put it out, instead of just
we don't care.
being a farm system.
And we don't care. I've never gravitated to anything else except the pro league that we watch on Sunday. And I don't care about these other. I don't have time for it, truthfully.
Did they try with the? I'm trying to remember, with the European League. Was that the NFL trying to do a little bit of minor league?
Was that
was that league called?
Yeah,
was that UFL? Was that the World Football League?
Yeah, it was something.
That lasted like 5 seasons or something.
Yeah, Germany and England and a couple of
the Netherlands, I believe.
I always remember the team, the Rhine Fire. For some reason, that's the only team that sticks in my head was their name from Germany.
Right, but if the quality of the game is not that good, people are just not going to watch.
No, but they should play it in small college stadiums, junior colleges, and let people show up in the neighborhood. If Bakersfield had a team, they'd probably support it.
Well, but the NFL's got to support it, because they still got to pay the players, so they got to somewhere get the revenue.
Like the baseball teams support it, right?
But it's not like they don't get billions of dollars. Like, they have the money,
right? You know, like the Quakes are supported by the Dodgers. It's a Dodger farm team,
but they don't have a lot of incentive because of the college. They have their minor league system there, really. So I think they probably weigh it and think, you know what? We get the players we need. That's our feeding system. I agree with Rick that, well, you're going to have times like this where then suddenly you have no quarterbacks developed. And actually, in this year's draft, there's maybe 2 quarterbacks that are first round worthy, maybe. So it's going to be a very dry year for quarterbacks.
Going back to the Arena Football League, though. Oh, sorry, Remy. Going back to the Arena Football League, you had a great story coming out of there with Kurt Warner. I mean, he says the reason he became a successful NFL quarterback was because in the Arena League, everything's a lot faster, smaller field. You had to make quicker decisions. Why not come up with something like that in Bakersfield?
Well, don't they? I think the Arena League might exist still, if I'm not.
Yeah, the Arena League is still on.
It was
Arena Football is still on.
Yeah.
That could be your practice squad, right?
No one seems to get pulled from there. Yeah. I think the problem is all the kids that play in the Arena League, the NFL already knows they're not good enough.
Yeah, they can't.
Right?
See, that's the problem. If they're already not on a team, maybe football is just so there's so many players on a team to begin with that if you're not even on a team, you're just there's no shot of you.
And these guys in college that are playing big boys, but when they get to the NFL, they still haven't played big boys. It's like they can't evaluate Trevor Lawrence right now because of the debacle that is Jacksonville.
Right.
And now they're trying to say, oh, this guy that was going to be an all-pro, never seen talent before, that was going to be the next Elway or the next this. Now they're saying might not be as fast as we thought he was. Might not be can see the field quick enough like we thought he could. And we don't know that. And that's a shame because this guy was touted as going to be like this Cinderella phenomenon. And he can't even be evaluated in his rookie year as a football quarterback. And he did nothing. I mean, the 6th pick is better than he is. And he was the number 1. And they were talking about
maybe we'll do a Sports Glutton NFL draft night show to see. It's just that the draft takes forever to do it.
They usually get the first round in about at least the top 10 picks are usually in the first hour, I think, right?
Yeah, that could be good because it will be interesting to see because like Jacksonville needs what do they need? Trevor Lawrence doesn't even get time to throw the ball.
No.
And
he doesn't have anyone to throw it to. And they're running game. So they
reminds me of Troy Aikman its rookie year.
Going back to this discussion, you look at baseball like a guy like Corey Seager, who just got an incredible $1 trillion to play for the Rangers. So,
Corey Seager went to the Rangers?
Yeah, he went to the Rangers.
10-year deal.
So everyone knows, they already know he's great in high school, right? And he gets his college scholarship, of course, because he's great. But he gets plucked. He doesn't even bother playing college because the Dodgers throw him right into the minor league team and give him, $2 or $3 million right out of high school. And they bring him up through the ranks, through Rancho Cucamonga, through the Quakes, and then he gets into the major leagues 3 years. But it took him 3 years, right? Yeah. So that instead of going to college, he played in the farm system,
right? In a higher, even though it's the minors, it's higher skill than college.
Yeah, you got to be freaking good. Yeah. I mean,
baseball and football.
But baseball has the best of both worlds because you could still play for a team and go 4 years and still get drafted, or go to a minor league team and get pulled up. So it's way more organized for baseball. Going back to it, I don't know. It just seems like the farm system in football doesn't work. No. And it's worked till now with the college players. I mean, so I don't know if it'll ever change.
I don't know if I'm ready. And that's a great point, Rick. I just don't think I'm ready to put Trevor Lawrence in the Ryan Leaf, Brian Bosworth conversation yet. I think just like Remy said, I mean, he has excuse my French, he has a terrible offensive line. He has,
a terrible
bad coaching. So, I mean, he reminds me of Troy Aikman's first, rookie year. But let's see what happens next year. Maybe
the sad part is nobody wants to play there because they're not firing the GM. So these top coaches that aren't even coaches yet, that want coaches jobs, are saying no, I'm not going to Jacksonville because they didn't get rid of the GM either. And
Jim Harbaugh would be a great fit, but he hates the GM.
Because he backstabbed everybody when the 49ers, and he's backstabbing people here, and got like Bieniemy, I can never say his name, but Bieniemy wants to be a head coach, but he's like, I don't even want to be a head coach that bad.
Right.
I'd rather be an offensive coordinator than play as a head coach for this guy. So
Troy
that's
Aikman was 1-15. Troy Aikman was 1-15.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel Trevor, if they don't get it, if they keep that GM and they don't get a coach there, he might be screwed.
Yeah, no, you're only as good as the lineman in front of you. I mean, well, let's ask ourselves this question. If Aaron Rodgers played on the Jaguars, would they have won more games? Probably, right?
Well, now, I mean, as a rookie or now?
No, now.
But yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. But he didn't have any weapons either, and he had a bad toe. You never know. He might have won 5 games.
5, maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Because he doesn't have anyone to throw to. And
we'll never know.
You know?
I don't remember Aaron Rodgers as a rookie, actually.
He didn't play for 3 years. He sat
behind Brett Favre.
Oh, right, that's right. He was a clipboard guy.
Yeah.
That's,
that's what's not happening now either. These guys can't sit behind anybody and learn. Like, how great is that to learn behind Brett Favre for 3 years? You know, these other guys have to come out and play right away, and they just don't
follow the money.
I think Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a couple of years as well.
Yes.
Yep. 2 years behind Alex. 2.
1.
2.
Was it 2? Yeah, I thought
2 seasons behind Alex.
Yeah.
Well, you see that with Justin Fields this season. They rushed him in, and he was terrible. You know, he's
poor guy got hammered. Their offensive line is so bad.
But it's like, you know, the pressure to play him. Yeah, and the same
for the Niners.
It's really
doesn't
hard.
Even have a chance. He didn't even have a chance to show and then you're petrified because every guy now on the line is a monster coming at you. It ain't just college anymore. It's like every guy is sometimes you face colleges and is big, but they're not as fast. In the pros, they're all big and they're all fast, and you're petrified because you're going to get hit and it hurts.
In New England, the plan wasn't for Mac Jones to start this year. The plan, at least one of the plans, was for him to sit behind. Was it Cam Newton? Am I missing?
Yeah.
But then Mac Jones just was taking it all in, and he was showing them. So I don't think the plan was to start him at this season, but it worked out. But the original thought was, hey, he'll play behind Cam Newton for a while, and then we'll see how it goes. So
yeah, but Belichick's too smart, and he watched the practice and said that dude can't throw.
Oh yeah.
He can't run my offense because he can't make a 7-yard pass.
That's right.
Cam Newton's horrible.
Yeah. Boy, talk about a demise. Yeah. So we're going to do 2 things. We're going to end up with our playoff picture. We're going to see what we think it's going to be at the end. But I think the announcement for the Washington football team new name is coming up soon.
Ooh, let's take
I cannot believe
guys back because he's a criminal. Can't stand that.
What kind of choices did they come up? Who's coming up with these?
It's already
options?
done. I thought the name was already given. I thought it was the Admirals. No.
When did they do it?
That's one of the final names, though.
They're down to like 5 names.
The Admirals? Are you kidding me? That sounds like an Arena League football team.
What are the names what are the choices?
The names are
the
Defenders.
Yeah, the Presidents.
The Commanders, the Red Hawks, the Brigade, the Sentinels, the Admirals, the Presidents, the Armada, and the Red Hawks. You know what? Whatever any of those choices is as bad as the Seattle Kraken. What kind of name is the Seattle Kraken? And
I think the Presidents are going to be the name because I just think the amount of merchandise you can sell is going to be off the hook. You could change put a president's face on it. I think it's the Presidents. That's my vote.
I think they should go with the red potatoes. But it's like when New
just
Orleans
give up and just go away.
The Hogs.
The Hogs they made. But like when the New Orleans changed to the Pelicans, that's not a scary name. You're coming to play the Pelicans. You're not afraid.
You want to bring some bird crumbs.
Yeah. Right.
So about the Washington Death Capitals.
Hey Todd, something caught my eye. You see this Sports Glutton banner you got?
Yeah.
How old is that picture of that dude number 18? That guy looks like he's from the 70s.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me see if I could put it up here.
He is from the 70s, isn't he?
Yeah, all the guys I put up are always ancient guys. So that's Emmitt Smith.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
So
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
I
Well, you
only
can't
know
tell
one
by
Smith.
I only know one Emmitt Smith.
Was there
No,
another?
you're thinking of
Cowboys running
Cowboys
back.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is like he was like this great Kansas City player,
Nice.
and
Okay.
a big hero for them. And because I think who else is Peyton Manning is number 18. I could have went with him, but I just like going with the old school dudes. And
Oh, it just hit me. Last week you went with 17 for the week and Dandy Don Meredith. Okay.
right,
Oh,
Right.
Oh, I see the
I
thing.
get
You
it
changed
now.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it
For
now.
the
I
week
put
that
in the
was-
old guys.
I wasn't following the 18 for week 18.
Yeah, see, NFL Week
My
18.
My bad.
Oh, well,
That's
yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
what
you. Now it's all coming together.
Yeah. So you gotta,
Now we're
you
all
know,
on the same page. Now we're all.
Right.
Now I see what you're doing, Todd. I like it.
Yeah, there we go. All righty, so let's let's finalize this and close it out. We're going to put up our playoff picture one more time for each league, and we're going to see what we think it's going to turn out. How do we think you think it's going to? Let's see. The Titans are playing. Tennessee is playing
Miami.
Houston. Tennessee plays at Houston. Miami plays New England.
Well, Tennessee's not going to lose to Houston, right?
No, Tennessee cannot
No.
lose to Houston.
No.
I mean, that's so they're going to remain at the top, and that means they're going to get the bye. So they'll get the bye. The Chiefs are playing.
Oh, guess you know what though? Check it out. This is interesting because the Chiefs play Saturday, right? So if they win, then Tennessee's going to have to really play hard. But if they lose, Tennessee will take the night off. Right? No, Tennessee. If they tie, Tennessee gets the tiebreaker. Correct?
Yeah, you know what's
What
interesting
about
though?
the Bengals and the Bills. They beat the Bills? Did they play the Bengals this year? Because if those two teams win, then it's a 5-4-way tie, and the Bengals beat Kansas City already.
Tennessee beat
Chiefs
Buffalo.
beat the Bills.
Tennessee
Titans.
beat Kansas City. They lost to New England.
None of this
but
is set in stone at the top.
We need that guy from NBC. What's his name? Is it Chris Kornacki who does that whole kind of Matrix thing and you tell us all the possibilities and all that?
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Oh yeah, so if
Well, the
that would be
Titans
interesting.
beat the Chiefs and the Bills. Did they play the Bengals this year? They didn't, right?
I don't
But
think
they beat the Chiefs and they beat the Bills. So if the three of them lose, they still stay in first. Now, if they haven't played the Bengals,
see that's
Bengals
interesting
could
though.
take the
If
first lead
the
because they have
Titans
less conference loss.
yeah, if the Titans lose though, they beat Buffalo,
And
and
they
if the
beat the
Bills
Chiefs.
win, and the Patriots win, the Bills will still win the division, and then even though the Patriots beat Tennessee, they'll be a wild card. So a little juggling going on, and then we go over to the
win to make sure. Who knows?
and Cincinnati. Who's Cincinnati plays? Cincinnati plays.
They're playing the Browns.
That's a tough game. They should win, but it's not like Cleveland's going to lay down. So then let's move over to the NFC. And the NFC we got, like we talked about, that's
Packers are in.
I can't believe the Rams are ahead of the Buccaneers and the Cowboys.
Well, they
That's
beat them
surprising.
both.
Yeah, they beat them at SoFi early in the year.
They beat
But
both
if the
of them.
Rams lose, I'm just reading it now, they could drop all the way down to the 5th seed if they lose
Right.
on Sunday, because everybody else, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, they could all jump them. So it's a big game for the Rams.
Well, they have to win because if they lose and the Cardinals win, the Cardinals take the division, right?
yes,
Right,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah. that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
a
have
big
an
week.
outside
This is
chance to win the NFC
a
West.
big week. So it's
49ers
more of,
always play the Rams well, no matter what.
yeah, this is a big week. This
The
is
Eagles don't have anything to play with. They're already set and can only finish 6th or 7th, so they're in good shape.
Can I give you guys a piece of? Well, I'll ask you an Eagles trivia question. Who are the Eagles paying the most this year?
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is correct. Carson Wentz is the highest paid quote player on the Eagles this year.
And what he's done with Indianapolis has screwed up all their draft picks. Too.
So is Carson Wentz getting paid by Indianapolis at all, or no?
Huh?
Philadelphia's paying Carson Wentz's salary?
They're paying a percentage, I believe.
Yeah.
And it came with draft picks. If he the better he did, the less some about their draft capital went down too. So he stuck it to them. He's like, I'm going to show you guys. You want to screw me over? I'm going to get you right back.
Isn't Jared Goff still getting paid a lot of money too?
Yeah, don't feel bad about Jared Goff. He's making bank.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I think he's getting paid at least by the Lions. I don't think the Rams have any of his money, I don't think. Or if they do, they have a very small portion.
All righty. Well, thank you all. This was a good show. It was fun. And looking at, we didn't really go into a lot of picks this time, but it was more talking about playoffs, which was kind of fun. And this is a big weekend. It's gonna, next weekend will be a playoff prediction time. So are they playing? Do they take a week off or they go right into it?
They go right into the wild card.
I believe they go right in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't believe baseball. Baseball doesn't take a break at all. Those guys, I don't know how they do it every single
day. They shouldn't have
day.
breaks. They're big boys. They shouldn't get breaks. They should work their way through it.
They should. But right. So next week will be our playoff preview show. And that'll be fun because everything will be in stone. We could review the games and we'll talk about what's going to happen next week. So thank you all for coming.
Guys, good luck. Good luck to all of you with your teams. I don't need any luck. So
yeah, you do.
Green Bay, Kansas City. Green Bay, Kansas City Super Bowl. I'll call it right now.
Right. All righty. Green Bay, Kansas City. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be interesting that first week. We're going to find out. We'll be able to see what happens next week. So thanks, everybody. I'm coming to you from San Diego this week. And next week, I don't know where I'll be coming from. But I'm glad everybody can make it. It's so much fun. And I will see you guys next week. And I appreciate everybody over here. And before we run away, let me say goodbye to Casey took off already. I love that she sends her little features in. Rick's Picks. You doing anything with your Rick's Picks this week, or are you taking it easy?
I'm taking it easy. I gotta look. I gotta see who's playing for what and who's playing for nothing, and so on and so forth. But I'm feeling the Rams I'm feeling the Rams over the Niners. I think I'm headed that way.
It's going to be a good game. There's some good games. There's some.
Well, they have Trey Lance too at quarterback, and I think that's going to be a problem for the 49ers.
They're going to hand the ball off to Samuel. He's just going to be running like crazy this weekend.
Yeah, 49.
They're going to be. Your Rams will be ready for that.
They need to be. They need to take this game. This is an important game for them.
Remy,
I'm glad you're. I'm glad you're feeling better, and it's good to see you. Julio, thanks for joining as always. It's wonderful to have you. Tim, on a return. It's nice to have you from Arizona. Thank you for taking a little time tonight, and I will see you all soon, hopefully next week during our playoff show. So thank everybody. I really appreciate it. There's going to be the replay. If you have Roku, if you have Amazon Fire, it's going to be on YouTube and Facebook on the Sports Glutton page and my personal Facebook page. Anyone could join. And again, if you have Roku, it's cross-promoted on the America's Hottest Cheerleaders channel, also on Amazon Fire TV. And I'm glad everybody could join. So thank you all. And I'm going to tune out. And after a long day of travel, going from Florida to San Diego, and I'm glad I could make it. And have a great week, everybody.
Take care, Todd. Take care, everyone.
See you, Julio. Thank you.
Be safe.